What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure and like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to talk on Steph Curry and how Steph Curry in his era has quietly dominated. Right? He's dominated all the best basketball players in the league that of his era. Not Kobe and going back further, but just of his era. Like when it comes down to Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Dame Lillard, all those guys, Steph Curry, and all the head to head, when it comes to the playoffs and head to head matchups, Steph Curry owns all those games, all those guys, right? And so to me, Steph Curry's career remind me a lot of Tim Duncan, right? Tim Duncan basically, he just went about his business quietly and didn't, wasn't a whole bunch of pounding his chest or anything like that. He just did what he was supposed to do quietly. A lot of people don't even, probably didn't even realize that he won the same amount of championships that Kobe Bryant did, right? And they played in the same era, but Kobe gets more attention because Kobe excuse me, Kobe was more was more flamboyant and more out there as a basketball player, whereas though Tim Duncan was laid back. And that's what Steph Curry is, basically just going about his business, um, and just taking care of business in a quiet, efficient way. So with that being said, listen to the kind of success that Steph Curry had against the best players in the league.
Steph Curry owns every single good player in the playoffs. I'm going to tell you the player, how many games they played. You're going to try and guess the record. Kyrie Irving, 13 games.
This is in the playoffs?
Yes.
So I know the Cavs won in 16. They got swept one year. Did they lose in 5 the other year?
You're doing math that I don't even know.
I'll say 8 and 5.
8 and 5. Yeah, Steph Curry is 8 and 5 against Kyrie Irving.
Kid scorching.
James Harden, he played 20 games against Steph.
14 and 6.
14 and 6. You nailed it on the head. Steph Curry is 14 and 6 against James Harden.
Who is this guy?
What about LeBron James?
How many times?
28.
28. I'll say 17 and 11.
You nailed it.
Are you serious?
Do the math in your head quick.
Yeah. Are you dead serious?
I'm dead serious. Steph Curry is 17-11 against the GOAT, the best player ever.
You would think he's the GOAT, but not in this case.
Damian Lillard.
This could be brutal. How many games?
10 games.
9 and 1.
Steph Curry is 10-0 against Damian Lillard.
I wanted to
in the
give
playoffs.
Dame one. I couldn't think of when they beat them.
They don't have anything. What about Kevin Durant? 7 games.
4 and 3.
4 and 3.
It's when the Thunder blew that 3-1 lead in 16.
Yes, they did. Never forget.
Game 6 Clay.
Steph Curry owns every single.
All right. So you heard it, right? Steph Curry, in my opinion, man, I don't know why Steph Curry don't get really bought up a whole lot. When they talk about that GOAT, when they put that GOAT thing out there, right? That GOAT conversation, why they don't bring Steph Curry up, especially now. Overall, like in the history of the game, I wouldn't say like Steph Curry, LeBron James, or any of those guys is the GOAT, right? But I'm talking about like as far as like dominating your era of basketball, your class, the guys who played, with you. And Steph Curry did it. And he did it without a whole bunch of, like I said, pounding his chest, media support, none of that. And so, I mean, you got to really give Steph Curry some credit for doing it like that. And you know what? And Steph Curry also, in my opinion, is a throwback basketball player, right? All those other basketball players, and this might be the reason why Steph Curry was able to have some success, because he was more stable in his career. Steph Curry didn't move around from team to team. So when you talk about like all those other guys, Dame Lillard, went to Milwaukee for a little while. Then he was back to, then he was back to Portland. Kevin Durant has been around the league. I don't know how many teams Kevin Durant played for. I know he played for OKC, Houston, Brooklyn, Phoenix. LeBron James played for 3 different teams. Kyrie Irving played for different teams. And so my point in that is you have to have a home base in order to have success. And that's at anything, right? And you also, because that home base allows you to have some stability. Because when ups and downs, like ups, you're gonna face ups and downs in your career. And so whenever you face ups and downs, you still need to be, you need to be founded in a base. When you leave and go to different teams and start all over, now you're building a new base. And it just takes so much longer to build. I don't care what kind of talent you have on your team. It just takes so much longer to rebuild that base, that chemistry and everything, and then to shoot back up to the top. It's just hard. And I think that's what a lot of these basketball players from the Steph Curry era found out, that even though Steph Curry might have had some down years, he didn't go all the way back down to zero. They had that foundation. It was always Steph, Clay, and Draymond. And then you had Steve Kerr. You always had those guys, so you built around them. But when you leave one team and you go to another team, like Kevin Durant, like LeBron James, is you now you have to build chemistry, and you starting from the ground up again. Every time you go to a new team, you starting with new coaching staff, new teammates, and it's just harder to build up from there and start all over again. And that's one thing Steph Curry avoided by just staying on the same team and, like I said, and persevere through everything. I think in the long run, it makes you a better basketball player too, because you get tougher and you have to develop certain skills. Like, people said that Steph Curry wasn't a really good defender, right? So Steph Curry had to become better. He's not the greatest defender now, but he's a lot better defender now than he was early in his career. They said that you can be physical with Steph Curry, right? And, so what Steph Curry do? He didn't go go play for another team where he had more physical basketball players. He bulked up. He got stronger. And so that's what staying with one team will make you do. It'll make you work on whatever the flaws are in your game. You'll find the chinks in your armor, and then you have to do the best you can to iron out those chinks in your armor. That's what Larry Bird did. Magic Johnson did it. Kobe Bryant did it. Like, all the greats, every year they added something new to their game. Their game got stronger every year. So the guy who you played last season, like, this is not the same Larry Bird. This is Larry Bird plus whatever skill set he developed over the summer. Or this is Kobe Bryant plus whatever new skill set that he's bringing to the table this year. So that's what happened, because you don't have to start all over at the bottom with your skill set, with your teammates, building new chemistry or anything like that. You're building on what you already have established, and you're going from there. I think, and it's proven that it makes it so much more easier. Also, you'll get a better basketball player from the standpoint of, like I said, developing skills, like new skills. And I've said in previous videos that I don't think that we have ever seen the best, as and as crazy as this might sound, I don't think we've ever seen like the best of Kevin Durant, or the best of LeBron James, or the best, even Kyrie Irving. Like, people say, well, Kyrie Irving is the most skilled basketball player that I have ever seen. But he is very skilled. And all of those guys are very skilled. But I think if they had stayed at one team for the bulk of their career, they would have had to develop skills, especially if you're trying to get to the top of the mountain every year. You got to get better every year. So you got to add a new twist to your game. And that's what Steph Curry did. He didn't have to worry about starting all over every year. He just built on what he had. And so that's a lesson, man, I think, for these new guys coming into the league, to just continue to build on what you have, already, and don't be so quick to blow up everything and just want to go start all over somewhere else. You gotta have that determination, want to persevere in your career. And that's what Steph, that's why, in my opinion, Steph Curry was able to to dominate those guys, man. He had that over top of all those guys. Steph Curry, I mean, like I said, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, all those guys. He had that over all of those guys, man. And he's the only one out of those guys who just never moved around, man. He just stayed in one place and continued to build on what he already had. Never had to start all over in his career. So that's something worth mentioning. So that's all I got for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'm going to check you all out in the next video. Peace.